Question 4 continued. Okay, you can write, I did not copy these notes off today, okay, because there's not that many, so just write them down. Okay? So get out your notes and start writing. Please. Greatest common factor. Okay? Greatest common factor. What is the greatest common factor? We've already done this part, okay, way back at the beginning of the year, but we're going to review it again today. This is the largest number that each number is divisible by. Okay, what does divisible by mean? It just means it divides into. Largest number that all the numbers are divisible by. I shouldn't write these in marker. They're going to be hard to read.
Oh.
There's colored pencils, I believe, back there somewhere. Oh, look, somebody lost a pencil. It's pink, too. Hey, greatest common factor cannot be larger than the smallest number. Okay? The greatest common factor cannot be larger than the smallest number. For example, if I have 16 and 24. You have a study hall, and you're sitting in here during class.
I was in study hall. Working constantly the whole
Greatest common factor. Okay? 16 and 24. How do I find the greatest common factor? Okay, well, you should know this already, but I'm just going to show you again. Take a smaller number. Write out all the factors of the smaller number. 1, 16, 2, 8, 4, 4. Okay, greatest common factor is which number is the largest that goes into 24. Does 16 go into 24? No. Does 8 go into 24? Yes. Yay, yes, it does. So that's my greatest common factor, 8. Alright, irreducible. Cannot be factored, cannot be broken into two binomials. Okay, so what you did today for homework, not all quadratics can be broken into two binomials. For example, okay, I can pull out a greatest common factor here. What is the greatest common factor? Okay, fish out a greatest common factor. Alright, what does irreducible mean? It means it cannot be factored like we did last night. Okay? That means this is not factorable into two binomials. Okay? So what do we have to do? Well, we can take out a greatest common factor. Okay? The greatest common factor, sit down please, in 3x squared plus 9, what is the greatest common factor? 3. Okay, so pull out a 3, divide both parts by 3, and what do you have left? Okay, is a squared plus 3 factorable? Or can you put it into two binomials like you did yesterday? No. So that is irreducible. Cannot be broken into two binomials. That's what that's called. Now, today when you do your homework, or tonight, or hopefully you do it tonight, at home, because it's called homework. These are the steps you're going to follow. First, you're going to write down the problem. Okay, that seems kind of, tough one. That step will take a while. Just kidding. Step 2, look for a greatest common factor, which is what we just did. If you have a greatest common factor, pull it out, fish it out, which is what we just did by dividing. That's why the division's there. Step 4, you're going to do either step 4 or step 5. Step 4, you're going to do what we did last night, and you're going to split it into two binomials. Okay, binomial times a binomial. Okay, you should be writing this down. This is what you need. These steps are important. Can we make it bigger? There you go. Factored into two binomials, meaning it's going to look like this, like we did last night. So, or if it's not factorable, if it's irreducible, okay, you just leave it go. Pull out a Grace common factor and leave it go. Okay? Let's do some examples. I'm going to do a dual screen so you guys can still see the steps, so if you're still writing them down, that's fine. There you go. Can you see it okay? Okay. Alright, well this is like the one we did last night. Okay? Because there's no greatest common factor. Okay? Well, first you have to write down the problem. Mine's already written down for me. Okay, so write it down. Look for a greatest common factor. I do not have a greatest common factor. 1, 5, and 14. I don't, so what do I do next? I factor what's left into two binomials if I can. So how do I know if I can? Step 1, split the x's. Okay, here's the steps. If some of you are still confused on last night's homework, I'm showing you an example right here. Okay, put your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up top. Step 1, split the x's. Step 2, check the second sign. Okay, if it's a negative, that means in the FOIL method, first, outer, inner, last, that means in the last step, I have to get a negative number. That means one has to be positive and one has to be negative. They're flip-floppable for right now. Okay, how do I know what the numbers are that go inside there? The FOIL method backwards. Well, I look at step 3. Okay, oh, that's the sign. The sign here tells me that I have to have, the larger number has to be negative because it's a negative number. So whatever numbers go in here, the larger one is going to have to be negative. Okay? Step 4. Write your factors out of 14. We have 1, 14, 2, and 7. And that's it. So if I make one negative and one positive, can I come up with a negative 5? Yeah, 2 and 7. If I make 2 and 7, if I make it negative 7 plus 2, I'm going to get negative 5. Negative 5 is what I want. So I have to have minus 7 plus 5.
2.
Yeah, thank you. Plus 2. Then after you're done, check it. Okay, check your outers and your laps. Or your outers and your inners. So I have 2x minus 7x. Negative 5x, and check your negative 7 times 2 gives you negative 14. That's what you need. It's FOIL backwards. And actually the best way to do this is practice. Get good at this. Okay, now, we're going to add another step today, and this makes it more difficult. Okay, so bear with me, please, 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 please. Write down the problem. I'm following the steps that you wrote down, step 1 through 5. Okay? You're confused, you're doing your homework at home, you're like, I don't know what to do. Get your notes out and look at your steps. Do as much as you can. Step 1, write down the problem. So you should at least have all the problems written down if you don't get all of them done. Okay? Step 2, pull out the greatest common factor. Do I have the greatest common factor in those 3 monomials?
No.
No. So just skip step 2 and 3. Because you don't have the greatest common factor. It's 1. What am I going to do with that?
You put 2 on the outside of the
You cannot put 2 on the outside of parentheses because it is not common in 11. It's common in 12, but not in 11. So here's what you have to do. You got to split your binomial, and you have to think to yourself, okay, in FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. The first terms, when you split your x's, before it was really easy. It was just x and x because our answer was always x squared. Okay? Now it's hard because I have to come up with 2 terms that when I multiply them together, I get 2x squared. Well, how do I do that? Well, I look, okay, what are factors of 2? 1 and 2, that's it. So if I take 2x and multiply it by 1x, are my first terms going to be 2x squared? 2x times x gives me 2x squared, so yes. Okay? Now, step 2, look at your signs. Okay, I have a positive, so what do I know about plus? Yeah, you got check number 3, it's going to tell you what I got to have. I'm either going to have plus plus or minus minus, but step 3 tells me I have to have plus plus. Now here is the hard part. Okay? Here's the hard part. Step 4, when we always did this step, we just wrote out the factors and found the difference, right? Okay? Now, when I write these factors out, I have to think to yourself, this is going to be different because I have 1, 12, 2, and 6, 3, and 4. That part's going to be the same. But I have to think to myself, look at your outer terms. What's going to happen to that outer number? It's going to double. Why? Because of the 2x. So whatever you put in this spot right here is going to double because of this outer 2x times that number. So when you're looking for your differences, you're going to have to multiply one of these numbers by 2 and then find the difference. Okay? So think about it. 24, I'm just multiplying by 2. 24 and 1, does that work? No. Okay, 12 and 2. No. 8 and 3. I'm looking for a positive 11. Yeah. So I know that it has to be 4 and 3. And I have to double which number? The 4. Right? I have to double the 4 because the two numbers that work are 8 and 3. So in order to have that happen, I have to double the 4. Okay? I have to times these by 2 and check out which one works. So which spot does the 4 have to go into? The outer. Because when you multiply this 2 times this one, it has to get to be 8x. Do you see how that's different than what you did today? Yeah, it's going to be hard. I promise, it's going to be hard. That's why yesterday I made you rewrite all your work. Because you need to know the steps. This stuff is getting hard. It gets harder. You get it, but it still makes it a little hard. I'm glad you get it, though. Okay, we're going to do another example. I'm going to try to squeeze another one in there. Okay? Once you're done, check. That's why I make you do your checks. Check your outers and your inners. My outers are 8x. My inners are 3x. I get 11x, which is right. My last are 12. I'm good. Make sure you check, especially when you have this first number. Make sure you check. Okay? Let's do another one. Let's see if we can squeeze another one in there. Okay, I have 5 minutes. I can do this in 5 minutes. Just slow me down if I'm going too fast. Really? Did you not get the problem before? I'm sorry. Can you follow along with this one? Okay. Step 1. What's step 1, Joseph? Did you do that? Not yet. Okay, go ahead and do that. Write the problem. Step 2. What's step 2, Joseph, after you write down the problem? Thanks, Bree.
Look for greatest common factor.
Greatest common factor. Do you have a greatest common factor in 7, 8, and 12?
No.
No. So I get to skip 2 and 3. Step 4, then what? What? 2 binomials. Good.
Would you do the same thing with this one, make it a 7x and then an x on the other side?
You have to, because those are the only factors of 7, right?
Right.
1 and 7. If it was 2 and 3, you could try those
Right.
too.
Yeah.
But 1 and 7 are my only 2 possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put 7x and x.
Yeah.
Because my first terms have to multiply to 7x squared, because that's what this is. Step 1 is 7x squared, so I have to think, okay, first terms have to equal 7x squared, so I have to have a 7x in one and an x in the other. Do you understand that part? Be with me there. Okay, let's go to step 2. Step 2, we always check this sign first. It's a negative. That means 1 has to be a plus and 1 has to be a minus. Okay? So, don't write it in yet. They're no longer flip-floppable. You can't flip-flop those now because one of them is going to be multiplied by 7 and you have to find the difference. So you got to be careful. You just got to put them there and you think to yourself, okay, what can I multiply and get by 7? Can you multiply and get negative 12? Okay, you got to think to yourself. Okay, I'm trying to think what I'm trying to think to myself. What can I multiply by 7 and take the difference of to get negative 8, but also multiply together and get negative 12? It's complicated, okay? Here's how you do it to start. Okay, if you're there and you're like, okay, I don't know what to do, start here. Take your step 4. and write out all your factors of 12. Write out your factors of 12. So write down 12, and I have 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. Now, one of those numbers is going to be multiplied by what, Joseph? Thank you, Joseph. 7, right? One of them, the outer terms are going to be multiplied by, the outer terms are going to be multiplied by 7, right? So one of these down here has to be multiplied by 7 before I find the difference. Yesterday you just found the difference. Today you have to multiply 1 by 7 first, and then find the difference. Okay? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 7 times 12. Well, that's going to give me a huge number, 84. 84 and 1. Am I going to get anywhere close to negative 8?
No.
No. Okay? 7 times 6, 42 and 2. Anywhere close? No. 7 times 4, 28 and 3. Anywhere close? Not even close. Okay, so then I got to go up to the top one. 7 times 3, 21 and 4. No. 7 and 2, 14. 7 2 is 14, 14 and 6.
No. Yeah.
Right? If I make 14 negative and 6 positive, what am I going to get? So where does the 2 and the 6, where do they go? How do I figure this out? The negative 2 goes on the outside, the 6 goes on the inside. Check them. Outers and inners, I have negative 14x and 12, or I'm sorry, 6. Make sure you write down your homework before you leave. Homework is right here. Now, here's the deal with the homework. You must try every problem. Okay? They are hard. Do the best you can. Okay? Give it a try. At home. Try it. Put your calculators away. You gotta